MESILAT YESHARIM, last chapter, B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach. We are in the last chapter of MESILAT YESHARIM, and we're up to the chapter, beginning of the paragraph says, Ve'ineh ro'eh shederech kinyan zot hamidah hu al rov aprisha v'ayun. So how does one become holy, acquire holiness? You have to do a lot of introspection. And perisha means you have to distance yourself from materialism. העצום בסתרי ההשגחה העליונה מצטרפה בראייה וידיעת רוממותו יתברך תהילתו. You have to realize the world is full of secrets, right? Any honest doctor would tell you that there's a lot about the human body and biology and the world. Scientists would tell you that we don't know more than we know. So Sitra Ashkachato means a person that's holy obviously knows that Hashem behind the scenes is controlling everything, and there's no limit to Hashem's greatness, and there's no limit to how much we need to praise Hashem. He becomes like a magnet to God. His obsession isn't cars. It's crazy. You look on YouTube and the internet, what some people are obsessed with. Some people, it's fishing, it's boats, it's cars. Like some people have the Hot Wheels. Like, all of these stuff is Hevel Verek. The ultimate thing to be obsessed with is what? Be like a magnet. Even though while he's on this earthly material world, he's using everything to get close to Hashem and be connected to Hashem. Exact premier example of this is just like, yes, when a Kohen is slaughtering an offering or korban for you, he is doing something what? Material. By cutting off the head of the animal. But there's much, much more deeper and significant meaning there. You understand? Or when he accepts the blood, or he sprinkles the blood, because really a real Kohen is realizing while he's doing the offering, he's trying to get into the deepest, bring down atonement and bracha to the entire world and this specific individual. You understand? To bring down peace and love into the world. Vezulat zeh He said somebody that wants to be kadosh, holy, if he doesn't have this is like essential prerequisite for him to be involved in physical, but realize that there's a deeper realm to it. The heart and soul, you understand, the neshama. Yes, when you pray, you say words, but the main thing is what? Your heart and your emotion and your intention. Same thing in everything. Yes, you have to go through the emotions, but what's his real heart and soul of motive of everything the holy person does is to be connected to Hashem, to be davuk, dveikus. Kedusha, the way the RAMCHAL is explaining, is dveikus. ואתם הדבקים בהשם כולכם חיים כולכם היום. והנה מה שעוזר להשכחת המידה הזאת, השגת הוא התבודדות והפרישה. One thing that helps this a lot is to think deeply, introspection, and being alone, away from society and the hustle and bustle. Because then, like, I don't think in any generation in the world people were so unfocused. So many distractions. Like it took us an hour to fix all our audio and video today. I hope everybody really watches these shiurim tonight. There was a lot of this.
A lot of effort goes into it.
Yes,
a lot of effort.
Yes. But he's saying that the hallmark of the true chassid that is holy, that is kadosh, is that he'll go by a stream, he'll go into nature, go into the wilderness where there is no cell phone tower, because unfortunately, to some extent or another, all of us that own these silly phones, that you could do tremendous good. You could listen to a lot of Torah, and I personally finished Shas through the help of one, but it's a tool, not a toy. But sometimes there's nothing like being alone in nature where there's nobody else, it's just you and God, and you could think deeply about your relationship with your almighty creator, your Father in heaven, and how you can overcome physicality to go be totally devoted and attached, davuk, right, to the King of all kings. Next paragraph. Mafsidei hamida zois chisarna yedida amitis. Being all under false pretenses, right? Not knowing the truth. Verova chevra in bnei adam, and unfortunately having too many friends. This, of course, is unfortunately true. Anybody that has the integrity to admit it knows that, of course, chas v'shalom, we're not hermits, but a lot of times when you're with people, higher probability the discussion could go towards unholy subjects, lashon hara, making fun of people, Ki hachomriyot motzet mino v'niur mitchazek v'nishar hanefesh lechuda v'lotod mima'asera. He says because, especially if you're around friends that are very materialistic, then you're going to get affected by them and sucked into their conversation and their society and their, But if you run away from materialism, and especially materialistic people, right? Right? Obviously, if you could imagine those dozens upon prophets that we have, right, Shani? Where did they gain to give a mashal, to give a parable, like, right, the Shekhinah, the divine providence, they went, only Moshe Rabbeinu was alive and awake when he got his prophecy. All the other prophets like Eliyahu and Yirmiyah, and that we're going to be reading on Tisha B'Av about, all of them went into a trance. Was that in a social setting? No. It was them and God alone. So this that Rab Nachman Bresov talks about is actually something very essential. You see, the RAMCHAL is alluding to it. He says, "Hine b'derech she'yotze lalech ba yelichuhu." If a person is always trying to get, right, because you have to know, what's the next rung on the ladder? The next, right? So the whole MESILAT YESHARIM is the elevator, right? It's taking you higher and higher. The next rung on the ladder is Ruach HaKodesh. So if you really, we have a guarantee from Chazal. The way that you want to go, they take you. You could always overcome your physicality, right? The materialistic, and you can, it's always, actually that's how the Tana de Eliyahu starts, that Eliyahu Navi, he has this midrash that Eliyahu Navi, his yeshiva, wrote. He says, I swear by the God of the land and the earth, Shamayim va'aretz, that any person, even a non-Jew, if he puts his mind to it and doesn't give up, he can be Ma'aseh Ruach HaKodesh. Right? So that's what the Ramchal is referring to here, that yes, there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of struggle. It may be more difficult than doing a triathlon, but if you don't give up, Hashem will help you to overcome. Umisham ya'alel mala gavoa yoter v'hi ruach hakodesh. That's after holiness, you get to the higher level, which is ruach hakodesh, like the divine spirit. Shekvar tagia sichlut lemala yoter michush anoshi. This is above, right? Ruach hakodesh is funny. It's above physical intelligence. Multafedi, yani you're not dealing with the physical anymore. It's a type of spiritual. It's like an antenna. It's not that you can know the future and know what people are thinking or know some aspect that it's outside the realm of physical, biological, right? Ruach HaKodesh is like an antenna that since you're close to God, the Ramban explains, you get like an inside Kivyachal. Like imagine if you're in the cabinet of the president, right? You're the Secretary of State. You're going to know a lot of things that the president talks about. So same thing. If you're in Hashem's inner circle, you're so close to him. You've done all the MESILAT YESHARIM. You're Zariz and Zahir. Now you've gone to the pinnacle of holiness. You get to Ruach HaKodesh, and we're going to stop here, that is above and beyond natural intelligence, because now you're into godly intelligence, right? Spiritual intelligence that's above and beyond anything natural or physical.